Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Merit here, your host from NV Rugby, and today I'm diving into that absolutely thrilling three matches from the Six Nations last weekend. First up, we is the France versus Scotland clash. After that, we're looking at the Wales versus England, and then finally the Ireland and Italy matchup. And we've got quite a bit to unpack over here, so without any further ado, let's get on with it. Well, as I said, it was a real spectacle this weekend at the Stade de France, with the French producing a real show against the Scottish side, which at moments had brilliance displayed, but couldn't match the flair and the power of the French, really. France was showing instant intention from kickoff with a massive hit on the Scottish first receiver, really setting the tone for the game after that. The first half was physically massive, and both teams went at it hell-bent for leather. It was shortly after that Jamie Ritchie was binned for trying to scramble over the ruck, but it was mostly, to me, it seems like mostly him trying to keep his balance going. And the French benefited almost immediately. France's first foray was through some pure genius of play, with Ramos setting it all off with that inside ball and the footwork to get away from Ferguson. Pure class. Bufana's finish, absolutely spectacular. Scotland weren't out of misfortune entirely, though. They've been having tough time this tournament, not being able to bank their opportunities from within the opposition's 22. Just as they appeared to be gaining some momentum, they'd fumble the ball and then give the French a possession or a penalty. One of the big talking points, though, was when Muvaka was yellow carded for diving onto Ben White, the scrum half, with some head contact there. Though the bunker review left it as a yellow card, which was probably the right call, as the ref considered it to be a low level of danger. Although I have to admit, White was clutching his face very seriously. Darcy Graham then completely smashed the French back row for Scotland's first try. It was from a carry around the corner by Gregor Brown, and it was Finn Russell stepping in and breaching the defenders before passing to Graham on his shoulders that clinched that one. Fantastic play there, and the French got a second yellow card from all the penalties basically conceded within their 22, giving Scotland an excellent opportunity for turning the game around. However, even with two men down, Scotland just couldn't capitalise, and the real heartache came when they scored their second try, only to have it disallowed when the fullback was ruled to have stepped into touch on the attacking movement. I mean, the dejection must have really been brutal with that one. Then we had another heated moment when Pinode was knocked out in mid-air by Jamie Ritchie. It was like a massive clash. And remarkably was only awarded a penalty, even though Pinode genuinely looked injured after hitting the ground. And any other day, that could easily have been a yellow card. So I'm not quite sure if I agree with that decision by the ref, but that's how the cookie crumbled. But the class of the French team really came out as the game progressed. Louis Bailey, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, destroyed the Six Nations record for most tries in the season. Absolute dynamite from that lad. I mean, the French pack completely took over the second half, and their driving maul was the source of frustration for the Scots. Thomas Ramos shut down a magnificent move, but the heavies in the middle did all the dirty work. Really, Before Mofana's crash over the France's fourth, crash over for the France's fourth try, you could sense the Scottish resistance was weakening. The Frenchman had 3 men in front of him and somehow managed to get between 2 and then offload this completely superbly. At full time, France had trumped comfortably 35-16 to them with 4 tries, and Scotland only 1. It was absolutely heartbreaking for the Scots, but hopefully they're not out for the count for the finals. Well, moving swiftly along, we get now to England versus Wales at Cardiff Stadium, and wow, oh my goodness, what a performance from Steve Borthwick's team. England have absolutely demolished Wales at the Principality Stadium with a record-breaking 68-14 victory. So let's just break down this absolute masterclass. England laid out their full store from the opening minutes. Jamie George forced his way over in an early try, a sign of things to come really on a day of misery for Adam Jones' Wales side. Blair Murray's was also, though, a bit of a silver lining for Wales, but couldn't really amount to much of it. But let's talk about him. I mean, what a player. Regardless of what the scoreboard said, this guy was electric for Wales. His early try chalked off for scrum half obstruction, created a brilliant line break with an up and over kick that nearly resulted in a try. And another promising attack movement nearly scored before Marcus Smith produced a last-ditch rescue with killing it in the England goal box. Murray was literally everywhere, posing Wales' biggest threat. If there was a silver lining for Welsh supporters, it's emergence of this youngster. I mean, he's just one of the world players, and I think we really need to keep an eye on him. England, though, was absolutely clinical in their attacks. Tommy Freeman continuing his amazing try-scoring run with tries in all 5 Six Nations matches. And that divine cross-kick from Finn Smith to set up Freeman's try, that was just absolutely fantastic. Chandler Cunningham South adding to his reputation with his powerful finish. And then Alex Mitchell showing his opportunistic side with another quick-thinking try by him. And then Henry Pollock. I mean, we cannot conclude this analysis with not mention Henry Pollock. A youngster just off the hot of the press from Leinster's side, enjoying his debut appearance for England. Just 20 years old and making an instant impression. Not a single attempt, but 2 on his global debut. His match-winning attempt in the last few minutes to push England past the 60-point mark was just absolutely brilliant. I mean, this kid has got a lot of potential as well. So yeah, definitely someone to make his name in the history books. But a historical margin for England. Although England's never beaten Wales. But this kind of margin before, home or away. That 68-14 scoreline sends a serious message to the rest of the rugby world, and France in particular, especially with the finals, semi-finals and finals coming up for the Six Nations. The image of Adam Jones looking absolutely devastating at it all. Welsh rugby has some serious soul searching to do after this record defeat at home, especially. What did you think of the game? Were you as surprised as me by the England supremacy, or did you notice that this was in the offing? Let me know in the comments field below. And finally, the Irish victory over Italy in Rome, and what a battle! Ireland may have come away with that precious bonus point that they so desperately needed to keep themselves in the championship. But the Italians made them earn every single point at the Stadio de Olimpico. The blast of start by the Italians, nobody saw this coming. I mean, who absolutely saw this coming? 11 minutes in, and the crowd erupts as the Italians score possibly the try of the tournament. The handling was sublime. Ignacio breaks, dictating the pace, with Menoselo opening the gap. I hope I'm saying that right. And then Capuzzo with a perfect grubber, and that feathered touch finish from Luane was just absolutely fantastic display. The Italians showed in the early rounds that they weren't going to be here for the numbers. Their line speed, counter-attacking brilliance, and newfound ball-in-hand confidence had Irish fans sweating quite early on. But as usual, Dan Sheehan stole the show. I mean, made an absolute fan of me. Dan Sheehan's performance was truly immense. He's kind of like the hat-trick hero of Ireland, which he also was against Scotland in 2002 and then against Italy in the 2000s. Now on 14 tries in the championship, rising to the occasion when Ireland absolutely needed him the most. He's just a phenomenal player that really deserves quite, the accolades, any accolades that he gets. When Ireland needed a spark, it was their mercurial hooker was always there to deliver it. The line-out ball was Ireland's favourite tool as Italy struggles in vain to hold the Irish power game. And then the card game. Wow. The match had everything, including some serious discipline issues from the Italian side. Lamora's yellow card for a cynical knockdown as Gibson Park was retrieving the ball from a ruck. That made for quite a bit of humorous entertainment. It was quite funny, absolutely. Vincent's red card that was upgraded from a yellow card for the reckless upright tackle with head contact, unfortunately, saw him going off the rest of the game. And then Nicotera's red card for illegally clearing out the ruck with head contact against the shoulder. With 14-minute times, the Italy's magnificent defensive display became all the more incredible. Capuzzo's magic it just kept shining as well. Just when you thought Italy was going to fold after being a man down, they produced that piece of magic. The masterfully way up and over kick. Varney's determination to chase that ball down, and then Hansen was caught flat-footed with a sympathetic bounce to the Italy side, and Italy was back in the game. There were 14 on the pitch, and this Italian team proved that they had the rugby IQ and skill set to cause any side of the world problems. But yeah, I mean, very strong team, up-and-coming team, really. They've got a lot of, bright future for the Italians. And then, what a finale for Conor Murray and Peter O'Mahony to their Six Nations careers. The two warriors of the Irish rugby call it a day on this victory, though I'm sure they'd admit this was one of their tougher games against the Italians. But after so many years, they have finally announced their retirement from international rugby. And with the verdict 22-17, Ireland take what they came for. 5 points to keep the title hopes alive, ahead of the final for the Super Saturdays matches. But a massive shout out to the Italian side. The men departing with fair losing bonus point, and the respect of world rugby. The Italian rugby resurgence is continuing to gain momentum. They're no longer the whipping boys of the Six Nations anymore. This is a team with real firepower and a rosy future ahead of them. And I'm holding thumbs to these Italians because they have got the potential and they're showing it. But what did you think of this blockbuster clash? let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Well, that's it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed this time with me. But again, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I always enjoy hearing from you guys, even if you disagree with me. But let's try and keep it respectful when we voice our opinions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't done so, as it really helps the channel grow. And join me next week again when I'll be reviewing the up-and-coming URC games again this next weekend, and it's quite a full house as the Storm is taking on the Scarlets, Sharks versus Zebra, and Bulls against Leinster, as well as the Lions versus Cardiff. Let me know what your predictions are in the comments below. And with that, I bid you all farewell until next week. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Until then, peace out.
It's Guinness Six Nations Super Saturday. There are 3 teams in with a chance of winning the championship. Ireland, the outside favourites of those 3.
Music, please.
A lot of the game playing out over on that far side between the Irish 22 and the halfway line in the opening 11 minutes or so. If you've joined us late, you haven't missed much. At the Stadio Olimpico, Ignacio Brex pulls it back, and away goes Menoncello. Great hands, Garbisi on his shoulder, kick through. Ioanni's after this. Oh! What an absolute scorcher! That was magnificent to watch. Everyone involved played their part in a memorable Italian.
1 or 2 concerns, I think, within the England camp, that he is vulnerable under the high ball, and that is one of Roebuck's real strengths. Well, Daly got a hand to that first, and there goes Murray, and Murray's away, and nobody's going to stop him.
Mike, we're going to come to you on this one.
So it's another one for Mike
I just
Adamson.
want to clear up that there wasn't a knock-on by Red initially. Hey, Mark. Thank you. Yeah, it's
Well,
not
it
a
was the
knock-on.
role of Thomas
Okay.
Williams making
All right,
contact there
Mikey,
with Tom
so
Curry.
It's touched 15's head, so there's no knock-on, but 9 Red is in front of the man who last played the ball. He's had an impact on play, so there'll be a no try. We'll go back for the original knock-on by White.
Marcus Smith, chance maybe to create something here. Little chip over the top. And Thomas Williams just got a hand to it. Murray returns it. Now can Murray get it on the bounce? He can! Oh, that's a wonderful tackle. Looking for some space, but he doesn't find it.
Kieran, if it did, I'd
Closed
miss
up
that, I'm
by
sorry.
Blair Murray, who could have had 2 tries
Oh, Red.
today. One stop by a quite sensational tackle, and now he's got a chance, because he's got the legs here on dead wall. Blair Murray, oh, and in the end it's Marcus Smith who denies him.
Yeah, I'm going to play that as a scrum there, guys.